Hi, I'm Phyllis Morawski,
Hello, I'm Ken Morawski.
and we're Amelia's parents.
Hi, my name is Amelia C. Morawski, and this is the Amelia's Backpack Project.
In January 2016, we found out that one of our family members was unable to take care of her 3-week-old infant and was still in the hospital. So with 48 hours notice, we went to the hospital, met with Child Protective Services, and we brought Amelia home. And she has been with us ever since. At 50 years old, it wasn't something we planned. And our 2 daughters, who were both in their 20s, were phenomenally helpful. And we realized through that journey that it took a village. To get up in the middle of the night at 50 was much harder than it was when we were in our 20s.
Oh, yeah.
She made a tremendous difference in our lives. We got to do things all over again, and we got to share with Amelia a life that our older daughters never were able to do. But during that process, we had caseworker in 2 different counties where we lived and where her birth parents lived. And we learned a lot about the struggles of families, children, and the difficulties for the caseworkers in foster care and removing children. We also realized that we were blessed. We were financially stable, that we could bring a child into our home with little to no notice, but not all families can do that. Through our village of family and friends and relatives, we created Amelia's Backpack Project. We learned through the caseworkers that most of the time they get little notice, maybe 48 hours notice, that they have to remove a child from a home. They would try to see if they had any used clothes that might fit the child, and they would go to remove the child. Sometimes they can take belongings, other times they can't. Whatever they were able to take, they would usually grab a garbage bag to put in whatever they can find. Most of the children that they removed have never had anything new. Sometimes they were being removed from the home with just the clothes on their backs. So we talked to the caseworkers, and we had said, how would it help if you had a backpack that had brand new clothes in it, that was designated for a specific child, sex, and age. So with our backpacks, you can kind of see each one has a Amelia's Backpack label, and on the back it'll say G5, which means in each one of our backpacks there's 2 brand new outfits, brand new pajamas, brand new package of socks, underwear. There's always a water bottle so the children know that they can get drinks whenever they want, and a dental kit. For the children who are removed from a severely traumatizing situation, we provide brand new teddy bears, because sometimes the kids just need to hold on to something soft for comfort. So they're able to put a few extra things in here as well. But one of the things that's most important to us is for the kids to know how important they are, to know that they deserve something special. So all of our clothes that we provide are always brand new. They always have the tags on them. And sometimes the kids have never had brand new clothes in their lives, and they don't even know what that means. So we always want to make sure they know, because sometimes the kids, they don't understand that they're leaving a dangerous situation or an unsafe, because it's the only situation they ever had. When they're being removed, just the act of being removed from that environment is traumatic to them. And the moment of removal could make or break them. So by giving them the backpack at that particular moment, we're trying to make sure the kids know how important they are and that they matter. And it's the little moments in their lives that can really change the trajectory of where they're going to go. We will use the funding to expand. The other thing that we started recently, we're providing backpacks for newborns, because when children are born and they leave the hospital usually will try to provide them with a little bit of clothing and diapers. Unfortunately, when they're removed, sometimes they're removed a week later, a month later, and there's typically nothing. So the backpacks we're providing for infants are for 0 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months. and it's about a week's supply of supplies for the babies. Our hope is to expand that as well and to have a closet for coats or boots for the children, because we can give them clothing, but to get them to have a brand new coat or brand new shoes or boots is something that we're hoping to do with our fundraising. So one of the things, as we've talked to people about Amelia's Backpack Project, I'm always amazed and humbled when I meet adults who grew up in the foster care system. And when we talk about the backpacks and what we do, they're always overwhelmed, and they share the impact of having a backpack when they were living out of garbage bags and going from place to place, what it would have done for them and how they would have felt. So they're always one of our biggest supporters of our organization when I meet people. And I'm always so humbled by the experiences that they share with us. So being able to make these kids feel important and that they matter means so much. And that really is what it's all about. It's always about the kids.